Hey guys, welcome to KT Confidential, episode 5. Last week we were talking shit about real estate agents, really bad ones.
We were definitely
Shit talking. So this week we're going to offer the very basics to help those real estate agents improve their business.
Here's the thing. I mean, we never really mean to...
Yes, we do.
Well, yes, because some of them deservedly so. But at the end of the day, you know, these are colleagues of ours or people that we...
Or competition.
They are competition. Even our colleagues are competition in its essence. But, you know, it's the industry, right? Realtors go through a long process to get their license, spend a lot of money and time to do that. There's over 50,000 realtors. Did you know this stat? 50,000 realtors in the GTA alone.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry as a whole has a pretty bad reputation, justifiably so, because there are a lot of poor realtors, bad representation. So today, we want to give those people some tips on how they can improve and be a little more professional.
And one of our goals with posting on all the various platforms is to bring awareness to homeowners and investors, whomever is buying, selling, leasing, whatever, so they know what kind of expectations they should have. And what is the definition of good representation? What should they expect from a real estate agent? So at the same time, we should be advising those realtors.
We have had a number of realtors watch KT Quick Tips and message us and say, thanks for posting that video. Thanks for doing that video. I watch KT Quick Tips all the time because it gives me good ideas or it teaches me something. We had one guy on Instagram message us not that long ago, I think last week or the week before, saying he watched the one that we did about selling a pool home in the winter.
Yeah.
And he got a listing based off of the information he used off of KT Quick Tips.
Yeah.
So...
Which is great.
That's the first thing most realtors should do is follow KT Quick Tips and subscribe to our YouTube channel, I guess.
Yeah, so today what I want to talk about is just the basics, break it down to the bare minimum basics that people need to do just to elevate their game a little bit, just to get them going. Can I tell you a
quick story?
Yeah.
So I kind of touched on it this morning. We had a lease close yesterday, and I was getting involved in getting everything ready to go for our client, who is the new tenant of this property. And I was set to meet with her at 11 a.m. I called the landlord's realtor at about 10 a.m. She picked up the phone and literally said, hello. And I swear to God, it was like I woke her out of bed. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And just said, hello.
Yeah, it's very unprofessional.
So what's your idea of the basics? Like, what do you want?
Well, little things that you can do, like ditch the Gmail and Hotmail accounts.
Seriously,
something so simple. Get a proper domain. Use your brokerage's domain, whatever. But
Adrian1234@gmail.com.
Yeah,
super professional.
Such a simple thing they could do that makes them look more professional. And to have that written on their business card just doesn't look nice. So that's one thing. Easy. You could do it right now. Do it.
There you go. So if you're a realtor, tip number 1, ditch the non-branded emails. Get yourself something professional. Even if it's the one that you're using, if you belong to a franchise, a brokerage, like a Century 21, they all do now provide personalized franchise
Well, and
emails.
I don't think people understand, I say it's a simple little thing, but it for some people, that could be a deal breaker. some people may look at it and see it as very unprofessional, and maybe they don't feel comfortable relying on this individual who's using a Hotmail email account to sell their $500,000 home, right? So you never know exactly what it is that got you a deal or made you miss out on the opportunity. So taking care of all these little things will help you get that much closer.
You touched on business cards as an example and having a professional email address in your business cards. Well, you know what one of my pet peeves are.
Yeah.
Don't use the photo you took 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I told you about that time one lady came through my open house. She was a realtor.
Yeah.
She handed me her business card. There's another tip. If you're going to open houses as a realtor, identify yourself right away and hand out the business card.
Oh, the worst thing is you spend 20 minutes talking to this person and they're like, oh yeah, I work for broker JBC down the road. Like, start off that way, man.
Right. Handshake.
I've got all these people walking around here and you're wasting my time.
That photo on her business card,
you sent me a picture. It was funny.
Was taken in like 1974.
Yeah, it looked
like her granddaughter.
Yes, it was hilarious. So there you go. Email, update it. Photo, update it. We do ours once a year or once every 2 years.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah, we're always taking professional photos and going to the studio down the street. Mike Streeter takes good care of us.
Yeah, it's nice that some people don't do it though, because it gives us something to laugh about.
Sure.
Yeah.
But can you imagine being a customer, a potential client, and all of the branding, everything that you see about this realtor has that photo, and this person shows up and you have no idea what the hell happened? Like, you must have had some serious drinking or drug habits to make you look that much older in that short period of time. Like, has real estate treated you that poorly?
Yeah. Well, imagine booking a listing appointment. You want to meet with a realtor to sell your home, and you've chosen a realtor that, you've seen their signs up in the neighborhood, their picture on the bus. So you book an appointment. They show up that night, and it's like, who the fuck are you?
Speaking of which, if you're going to keep that beard, we might want to update your photo too.
Yeah. Well,
people might get scared when they open the door and they see that thing.
It's not a bad idea. But there's so many people that need to do that. But another thing is voicemail. Now, you have to be a little... I was the culprit of that today. For some reason, my voicemail got reset today, so it was the default TELUS recording. But voicemail messages, just identify yourself professionally. So when people call, they know they've got the right person, and they're not leaving a message, potentially confidential, on the wrong person's phone.
If you call an employee of a bank, as an example, any bank employee, they are required on a daily basis to update their voicemail. We were required to do that at Milton Toyota and Milton Hyundai. Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling. You've reached the private and confidential voicemail. Today is...
I'm in the office until...
For realtors, you can have one standard message that stays there all year round. But then if you're on vacation or you are taking a day off, update that. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. Just a bit of time 30 seconds, you can update your voicemail.
Yeah.
Way too many realtors are relying on the standard, you have reached 416-707-8401. Please leave a message.
Knows my phone number.
Yes. Good thing. That was Adrian's phone number, so now you know where to reach him.
I reply quickest to text message in case you want to get in touch. Voicemail and email out of office messages. Those are easy to do. And it can avoid, making an irate customer who's like, why the hell have you not replied to me? Most people are understanding if you're away for whatever reason, as long as they know.
Well, that's it. And a lot of realtors don't benefit from having the same situation that we do. Like, if I'm away, you're on the ball taking all my calls and vice versa. lot of realtors don't have that partnership, so they rely on themselves.
Yeah.
And if they take a day off or a week off or an evening off, their clients don't necessarily know about it. They're calling in or emailing in expecting a prompt reply. It's so easy to update.
Yeah, just overall professionalism. So those are some great things people can do very easily. They can.
So what have we just, like right here in the first 5 minutes, we've given realtors.
Update your email. You can use your corporate one, whatever that may be, or go buy a domain and get your own email hosting. It's affordable.
$30.
Easy to do. Voicemail. Update it. At least at a minimum, so people know who you are. Identify yourself so people know who they're contacting.
Takes you 2 minutes.
And do it when you're on vacation. And email auto out of office alerts. Do that as well, especially with the holidays.
And update your photos.
Yeah, if you're taking
$150 gets you some nice portrait shots.
If you're taking time off over the Christmas holidays, let people know.
There you go. There's 4 or 5 tips right away. Every realtor must do. If you're listening to this and you don't do all of those things, shame on you.
Another pet peeve is just what you were saying with that lady earlier who answered the phone very unprofessionally, and perhaps you did wake her up. But I get that all the time, and it's like, who the hell am I talking to? Is this so-and-so from whatever brokerage calling regarding a certain listing? Like,
you've got a couple of listings there in front of you. Why don't we just randomly call?
I'm going to make a few phone calls and see how these real estate agents...
Put it on speaker.
Yeah, obviously. Hang on.
Well, thanks.
Okay. Here's number 1. What property is that? Okay.
Don't tell me the name of the realtor.
I actually didn't write it down.
Is it just a crank call?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, who am I speaking with? Sorry, pardon me? Yeah, I can't hear you very well. You're cutting out. I apologize.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. My name is...
Hi. How are you today?
Good.
Good. I'm just calling about your listing on...
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Adrian. I'm a realtor with the Kormendy Trott team at Century 21 Miller.
Okay.
I was just curious if the basement apartment has been rented in the past and what it was renting for.
I don't know. What you do, call her. She's my partner. She can give you the better information.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think I woke him up too.
100%. This guy was fucking passed out.
Make sure you beep out those names, eh? Maybe the address too. Poor guy. Feel bad interrupting his
Well, do you?
midday nap. No, of course not.
This is the avenue where this should bring attention to everybody. Like, ramp up professionalism.
I know.
And not just realtors. The whole planet needs to ramp up professionalism. I'm tired of paying fees, commissions, and all of this money going out to all these different places and people just accepting the fact that we should tolerate less than 100%.
Well, here's a great idea. You know what people should do? People right now that have their home listed for sale need to have their best friend call their real estate agent and put them to the test.
Well, I mean, if you haven't done that due diligence from the beginning.
I guarantee you nobody does it. For sure, 100%. So if your house is listed, have your friend call your realtor, fill them with a few questions to ask.
Secret shop your own house.
Secret shop your own house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good idea.
I mean, you should have done it a while ago before.
Can you call, do you have his partner, whoever?
No, I didn't write that number down. It's not here.
It's not in the listing?
I don't have the right listing up here. It won't show me. So we'll try another house. I've got 3 houses. I'm getting a phone call. Ended. There we go. Okay, so let's try another one. This will be an interesting one. This one I'm going to ask them if they've got solar panels on the house. I want to see if they know anything about it.
Oh, there are solar panels currently installed.
Yes.
That's a tough one because a lot of...
Well, it's not really. It's quite easy.
No, I mean, for them because most realtors have no idea
I know.
about anything when it comes to solar panels. And if you do, kudos.
We're going to get his voicemail so we can...
Might want to hold it up to the...
No, they can hear it fine.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, who am I speaking with? This is Adrian. I'm a realtor with the Kormendy Trott team at Century 21 Miller. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. I'm just calling about your listing on...
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious if you have any information about the solar panels.
For the solar panel, first of all, there's one offer on the property, almost done. And the second thing is for the solar panel, whoever will buy or whoever will take the property, it's a cost of $50,000. So we have to pay, like there's a lease on the property for 20 years.
Okay.
Solar panel.
So the buyer has to pay $50,000?
$50,000.
Okay.
That includes HSG, right?
They can't just assume the lease?
Yes, they can assume lease also.
Okay. That might be the more attractive option.
But there is offer on the property already.
Okay, good to know. Well, I'll check in again in a few days to see if it's available.
Yeah, let me know, please.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay? And if I get something, which company you're calling from? Century 21, right?
Century 21, yes.
Something else in that neighborhood by chance, please give me a call maybe over 2-3 weeks. Suppose if this sold, maybe I will get one more listing at that neighborhood, so I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
So there's an offer on the property, but it's not a firm deal, and he's already trying to sell.
Why would you start by saying you have to pay $50,000? I know exactly what the contract is. I've done many of those. So
Right. You can either buy it out or assume the lease.
You just assume the lease. There's no cost
Right.
to you whatsoever. I think that's the better way to start.
You think?
Yeah.
By the way,
excellent. There's no cost. You get this house, the solar panel system comes free. You're on a 20-year lease, and as soon as that lease is done, you can benefit 100% from all the energy it generates.
Right. Zero salesmanship in that call.
Yeah. All right, let's try one more.
So you've made 2 calls, and both, these are random calls, folks. I mean, like, both calls, hello? Like,
It's so funny. Such a simple thing to do. Okay. Oh, this one. There's only one picture of the house.
ask if they have any more photos.
And it's owner occupied. Sometimes if there's tenants, they maybe don't go in because it's too much work.
Or the tenant doesn't want you taking photos. That happens.
Occasionally, but usually you can.
I don't care. I
Work
take
your way
photos
in.
anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. So can I help you?
Oh, their phone must be forwarded. I am trying to get a hold of.
She's not available at the moment. Would you like to leave a message
No.
so that I can page her to call you back?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Are you sure you called the right number, not the brokerage
Yeah, I know
number?
that's a cell phone number. I know some people forward it, which is good.
Yeah.
So kudos.
Right, because at the end of the day, a professional,
Yes.
right there was how every realtor
Yeah.
should be answering their phone. Do you want to call Steve? He's in the other room there, but do you want to just...
And we're going to crank call Steve Berman.
of our team to see if he is answering the phone properly. Is he going to hear you calling him, though?
No, I don't think so. I'll turn it down a little bit.
Hello?
Oh, he did say it, but he couldn't hear it.
Yeah, he said, "Thank you for calling the Kormendy Trott team. This is Steve speaking. Hello."
That was my bad cell signal. Steve. Steve, can you hear me?
Good job. Good job taking that call.
Yeah. It sounds like he didn't do it. Everyone's going to think we're liars. But he did. He legitimately
I
did.
actually have told him to stop saying hello at the end of his greeting for that purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's all I heard. But I could hear him in the background saying it
Yeah,
properly.
I heard him through the...
Is he still saying hello?
He still thinks somebody's on the other line.
Yeah, he's committed. Jeez.
So what we learned from those calls right there, not much professionalism, right? Like,
No, but the last one's a good example. If you're not available, for forwarding your call to your brokerage is a great idea.
it's a good option.
But I don't know if they
for
heard there. One thing that the brokerage said that just drives me mad.
page.
Yeah. Would you like me to page them? The fuck? They have a pager stuck on their belt? Who's paging these days?
Are pagers still, like, do they exist for any
I think
industry?
doctors. Maybe doctors. Yeah.
What benefit would a doctor have from having a pager, though?
I don't know.
Like your
It's
client's
compact.
having a baby, or
Sits on your...
like can't text that information?
Well, it's just attached to your waist. It's more compact. I don't know.
Is
I'm
it?
pretty sure they do. I
Alright.
watch Grey's Anatomy sometimes. They've always got their pagers. And that's a legit show. So, must be true.
Must be.
Yeah. But yeah, they always say they're going to page the realtor, which really means, so you know, they're just sending them an email, which you could also do,
Right.
which might actually get a quicker response if they see an email
So
from
if there's
somebody else.
anybody with any kind of control over brokerages,
Yes. Get rid
anybody
of that.
from franchises like head offices and things like that, can we just phase out that terminology? Like, nobody uses a fucking pager. Stop saying I'm going to page the agent.
Just say I'll have them reach out to you.
Yeah.
Don't even say how you're getting in touch with them.
You know what, though? I mean, here's another thing. Here's another tip for realtors. Stop being a secret agent.
Oh, I hate that.
Do you know how many times I have to dig so deep to find a realtor's cell phone number? And half of the time, you can't even find it at all.
Yeah.
You end up having to call the brokerage, who then says, oh, I'll page him for you, which just means they're sending out that email to say, hey, call
I've
this
already done
person.
it, but thank you anyways.
So now you've got this huge time lag. So if I need, maybe I'm putting a deal together for your listing.
Yeah.
I can't find your cell phone number anywhere. Now I got to call your brokerage. They're going to quote unquote page you. By the time you get back to me, like, there is a huge miss there. If you're a realtor and you don't have your cell phone number readily available, you are missing opportunities. You are leaving money on the table, and you're pissing off a whole bunch of realtors that are trying to get a hold of you. And more importantly, potential clients or current clients need to have that number.
Well, and here's another example of when it would come in handy. So whenever we get an offer on one of our properties, we call or text message every single person, every realtor that has shown the property. And if you don't leave your cell phone number with us, we're not able to.
Right.
Which means that you're doing a disservice to your client, because they may, if they decide they like the home, it may be too late by the time you get in touch with us.
Yep.
So, big mistake.
Huge.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. Email, voicemail, photo.
Well, these were the fundamentals right there. I mean, if you're thinking about being a realtor, if you're currently going through your certification, whatever, or you're currently a realtor and you don't have all these things and are doing all these things we just talked about,
Yes.
check yourself, make sure you're doing it. Let's ramp up professionalism in the industry. Just provide a better overall service for the people that you are serving and for your colleagues. And you know what? It would just be so nice. But man, that's a tough uphill battle.
Well, that's the problem with all the schooling they go through. It teaches them the legalities of things, but it doesn't teach them how to run their business. So,
Yeah, like realtors are entrepreneurs, self-employed essentially.
well, they're not necessarily. They may like the concept of it, but they're not good at it. So know your place, know what you're good at,
Right.
and
Well, that's like you can have a poor restaurant owner as well, right? Like We see so many restaurants closing here and there and here and there.
Every
and-
chef thinks they can run a restaurant.
Right. So there's
That's
some
it.
great tips for you realtors out there, aspiring realtors. Do these things and you
Wanna
will-
be.
Wanna be realtors, yeah. Do these things and you will absolutely be more professional, which is,
And you'll make more money.
you will, 100%. That's how, as a realtor, to increase your income.
Done.
That was KT Confidential, episode 5.